Deja vu all over again. It's just a week ago when we had Governor Cuomo here talking about his initiative that had just recently been passed, tax-free, which is now Startup New York, and we're glad that he's come back again today. Let me acknowledge a few people that are here with us today on this important announcement. Broome County District Attorney and Binghamton University graduate, Jerry Mullen. Commissioner of the New York State Department of Motor Vehicles and our friend Barbara Fiala. And the counsel for Governor Cuomo, Moreland Dennerstein. Thank you, Moreland. As many of you might have read, today the governor is going to announce the beginning of a Moreland Commission. And it's great to have him pick Binghamton University as a location for him to make this announcement. When I became a state employee about 6 years ago, I knew that I had taken on a responsibility not just to the people that worked for me, but the people like my mother and my sisters who paid my salaries with their state taxes, and that the state owes its citizens the respect and the trust that they deserve. And that by creating this independent commission that's made of the state's top lawmaking officials, New York is taking a step, I believe, in the right direction towards restoring the public's trust in the state employees. And in order for the state of New York to function and be successful, just like any organization to be successful, you have to have the trust of the people. And we are excited and proud that Governor Cuomo will be tackling the topic of public corruption head on. As many of you know, the students at Binghamton University, many of them go into politics, many of them become elected officials. Just recently, just this past year, we had our first alumni be elected to the Congress of the United States, Hakeem Jeffries. And we hope that many more of our students aspire to that public service role. And as they think about that, they should understand that they want to have the trust and respect of the people when they serve the government. And so I want to commend the governor for doing this and for choosing Binghamton University as a place to make this announcement. Governor Cuomo.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be back at Binghamton. It's like deja vu all over again. Another great quote. The first to President Stenger. You're president. You're lucky. You're blessed to have a president who is, in many ways, the new age president, new model of university president, college president, because BU is so much more than just a university. And nowadays, the universities are evolving into a different, more comprehensive role with the community. BU is an economic development vehicle. It's a community organizer. It's a tourism manager. I mean, the university is such a vital, vital part of what the entire region is doing. We've recognized that because we asked the president to not just serve as the president. Since we were paying him anyway, we said we'd also like you to be co-chair of the Regional Economic Development Council, which is a regional, just as it sounds, a regional economic activity stimulus. He's doing an extraordinary job there, and Binghamton University is doing so much good for so many people, and it's only going to get better from here. And the president's leadership is a big part of that. Let's give him a round of applause. I'm going to introduce the district attorney in a moment to Commissioner Barbara Fiala. Good to be with you, Barbara. My counsel, Moreland Dennerstein, who the president acknowledged. And let me tell you what we just did in Albany, and I wanted to come out with the district attorney to talk to you directly about what's called a Moreland Commission. And it sounds like an arcane old state law, the Moreland Commission, and it actually is an arcane old state law, the Moreland Commission. But the point is simple. It's about trust. And every relationship is only as good as the level of trust. I don't care if it's a husband and wife relationship. I don't care if it's a friendship. The relationship is only as good as the level of trust both parties have. That's also true for the relationship between a citizen and their government. It is only as good as the level of trust. And we've gone through a period over the past few months where I believe the public's trust in government has been shaken. We went through a several-month period where a number of state legislators got into trouble, either charged with possible crimes, ethical wrongdoings, or just plain the technical term is stupid things that they did. But a number of legislators, a number of incidents where the people of this state are now saying, you know, what's going on in Albany with the legislature? And what's going on with my state government? And I feel that there's been a breach in the level of trust, a reduction in the level of trust. And first and foremost, I want to begin by addressing that. What is our obligation as elected officials? I think it's twofold. I think the people of the state have to know that if someone does the wrong thing, they will be caught and they will be prosecuted, period. That's the first order of business. I'm not going to say we're going to stop all wrongdoing, because that's not credible. There's always been wrongdoing, by the way, in government, in the private sector, in every sector. People will do bad things. But if people do bad things, then there has to be a system that catches them and convicts them and prosecutes them, and people have to know that justice is being done. Number two, people want to know that there's a system in place and checks and balances in place to prevent it from happening again. Prosecute the wrongdoing, prosecute the person who did the wrong thing, and make the kinds of changes you need to make to prevent it from happening again, and putting the safeguards in place to make sure it doesn't happen again. Both those tasks are what we want to accomplish. How do we accomplish them? Back to the arcane law called the Moreland Commission. I asked the legislature this session that just ended to pass a comprehensive Clean Up Albany Act, I called it, which was a dramatic reform of the way Albany does business. It reformed campaign finance laws, election laws, etc. The legislature didn't pass that legislation. They wanted to compromise on the legislation and water it down, and I said I wouldn't do it. Maybe I'm an uncompromising, rigid person. Maybe. My daughters would agree with you if you said that, by the way. But I've compromised many times with the legislature, but I was unwilling to compromise on this law because I was not going to water down the Clean Up Albany law. And I said to them when they refused, if you don't do that, I'm going to do a Moreland Commission. And what is the Moreland Commission? It gives the governor the power to put together an investigations committee. And that's what we're doing today with the Moreland Commission. Well, you're putting together an investigations commission. That must mean you think most elected officials are crooks. No, the exact opposite. I've worked with the members of the legislature. The overwhelming number are good, honest, hard-working people who are there for all the right reasons. The overwhelming number. This is the old adage of the one bad apple, right? Spoiling the barrel. And the bad apple tarnishing the reputation of the good. Well, maybe because I'm doing an investigations commission, it means I don't believe in government, and I think that government is corrupt. No, it's the exact opposite. I believe that government has the capacity to do great things. I believe over the past 2 years, this state government has shown how important a functioning state government is, because we didn't have a functioning state government for a lot of years. And you look at the past 2 years, and you look at what we've gotten done over the past 2 years and the difference it's made in this state and the state's economy, government matters, and good government matters. And that's why I'm so adamant that I want people to trust the government again. Because I believe the government can do really important things. and really good work. And I don't agree with these people who talk about the government like it's an alien being, like it's the enemy. Who is government? You know what government is? Government is us. That's who government is. Government is just when society says, look, there are some things that we need to do that we can't do individually. We can't build the roads individually. We can't do certain things individually. We can't do storm preparation individually. So we'll form a committee, we'll elect them to a committee, and that committee we'll call it government, and that committee will help society move forward. When you call government an alien being, when you condemn government, you condemn us. And you condemn our ability to do good and our ability to move forward. So I believe in us. And I believe in what we can do together. So yes, I believe in the concept called government. And that's why I want the people of this state to know there is a government that they can fully trust. And to the extent they've seen a few incidents over the past few months that have said to them, I don't know what's going on, I want to say, rest assured, you don't have to worry about it. I want you to trust the government. I want you to believe in the government. When we come to you and say we have an idea, we have a problem we're going to solve, we need your support, I want that support. So I want people to know that everything that needs to be done so that there's a government in place that they can trust is being done. What is Moreland Commission? It is the most talented law enforcement people from across this state brought together on one group for the sole purpose of being the watchdog of the public to make sure the public trust is protected. If there's wrongdoing, they will investigate it. If the system has to be changed and we need new laws or laws reformed, so we correct a loophole, we correct an error, then they will do that. But they are the best law enforcement people ever assembled. And what I can do as a relatively new governor is say to the public, nobody before has brought together this combination of talent, this combination of law enforcement expertise, period. Period. These are legendary law enforcement people from all across the state. Democrats, Republicans, upstate, downstate, men, women, short people, tall people, every kind of diversity, every kind of balance, totally independent. Never before have you brought this much scrutiny and this much expertise to look at the government. Why? Because I want the public trust restored, and I want people to have total confidence that this is their government and doing their job. Am I afraid of what they're going to find? No. No. I think they'll find the wrongdoing, and the wrongdoers should be punished. And I think when they punish the wrongdoers, they will implicitly vindicate everybody else. And that's what a system can do for the good legislators. It can prove that they're good. And I believe it'll make the people of this state feel that this is their government, and they can rely on it, and they can trust it. Emblematic of the kind of talent that we have brought to this commission, the kind of expertise, the kind of credibility, the kind of experience, is your district attorney, Jerry Moreland, who I had the good fortune to work with as Attorney General, whose reputation precedes him. He is just the real deal. He is a pure, no-nonsense district attorney, little sense of humor, funny, but a total pro at what he does. And he is joining this commission with one mission, the same mission that he serves the people of Broome County, to do justice, to do the right thing, to protect people who need protection. And when someone does the wrong thing, to make sure that the punishment fits the crime. I want to thank District Attorney Moreland for accepting this responsibility. He doesn't get paid any more money. It's just another headache. He has to do his day job, and now he has this on top of it. But I think he's a big part of the reason why people will know that this is a serious effort and people will have confidence in this effort. And I want to thank him on behalf of the people of the state of New York for accepting this responsibility. With that, I give you District Attorney Moreland. Thank you.
Thank you. How much would you have to pay to have the governor of the state of New York give an introduction like that? I'm not even going to give an estimate on it. It's a pleasure to be here, and I want to thank the governor for asking me to serve on this important commission. I have worked with the governor for quite a number of years. I usually don't acknowledge how long I've been district attorney because I'm getting old. I've been district attorney since 1987. I've worked with the governor while he was attorney general on several important projects that he initiated and carried through. Know a lot of his personnel from the attorney general's office. Worked with him and worked with his people on events that have traumatized our community, such as the Civic Association killings, some of the natural disasters that we've suffered. So it's an honor to be asked to serve on the commission. Now, first let me speak just as district attorney. When you get an invitation or request from the governor, you do have to think about whether to accept or not, and you also have to think about what if you say no to the governor of the state of New York. But when Governor Cuomo asked, suffice it to say, I will tell you this, in just brief background, the governor has been one of the most important allies to the criminal justice system and law enforcement of any governor we've had in recent times. And I am not going to go through the whole list, but I can tell you that I'll just mention two things to indicate the level of trust that prosecutors in the criminal justice system have in the governor is, number one, when the achievement, we in law enforcement thought, is this really debatable? But an issue of whether somebody who's convicted of a crime, we can gather basic DNA samples from known convicted criminals to match to unsolved violent crimes, seems like something that isn't really all that complex an issue. Believe me, it's complex in the environment of the New York State legislature. Governor Cuomo got that legislation, and for us in law enforcement, it was one of the great achievements in recent times. And I think if you saw the press conferences when victims spoke thanking the governor for his role in that achievement, I think you would have been moved. When I was at that press conference, I actually felt it was one of the finest public presentations I had ever seen in public life, not just because of the governor, but because of the victims, because of law enforcement participation. So we have a level of trust in the governor that has been earned. I'll back that up by saying, speaking to the mission of the Moreland Commission, several weeks ago now, I'm not sure exactly how long ago it was, but the governor had asked support from the State DA's Association. We have 62 elected district attorneys in New York State. They are a variety of personalities, suffice it to say. They are made of all, I'm not sure when the governor was talking about the commission now consists of short people, tall people. He didn't get into the whole, I don't know, I was kind of afraid to ask him what category I was in, but one of the things he had asked when he put together the Public Trust Act that he was proposing to try to address the issue of whether our citizens have lost trust in government, he had put together a proposal which included things like campaign finance reform, public disclosure of contributions, giving tools to prosecutors, which I'm not going to spend a lot of time on, but believe me, the criminal justice system is in need of revision if you want to get at any criminal activity, never mind just public corruption. But this act, called the Public Trust Act, was put together, and the governor reached out to the DA's Association and asked for personal support from all 62 elected district attorneys. Put your name on a letter saying that you, to your legislature, we need and want this. For the first time since I've been district attorney, since 1987, 62 names were on that letter in support. I've never seen it, and other experienced district attorney in the state tell me it's never been done. And a large part of that was because of the governor's reach out to us, but also because of the topic that is the topic of the Moreland Commission. Now, the Moreland Commission as constituted and proposed. Suffice it to say, I got a call asking to serve on the Moreland Commission when I was on vacation. And I did say, well, of course, if the governor asks, of course, I would serve. And then I did say to the governor's representative, what the hell does it do? Because I really didn't know. I had heard about it, but I didn't know. So I spent some time reading while on vacation, and even coming back to the press conference announcing it this morning, there's different ways the Moreland Commission can be put together. I wasn't actually exactly sure about exactly how this Moreland Commission was going to be put together. But I am confident in saying, after hearing the Attorney General speak and hearing the Governor speak and taking a smooth plane ride down from Albany to Binghamton today with the Governor, the way this commission is constituted, it has been given, I'm almost going to say, unparalleled power in conjunction with the subpoena power that comes under the Attorney General's office to do two things: investigate public corruption wherever it exists, and secondly, to identify flaws in our legal system and in our electoral system that the commission as a whole can put forward and hopefully be acted on by the legislature. I can confidently say also, it's nice of the governor to say nice things about me. It's always better to have nice things said rather than bad things. But the members of the commission, believe me, are an impressive group of people. 6 elected district attorneys from across the state, all of them tremendously impressive people of absolute integrity, people in all fields connected to this: campaign finance, open government, academics, people from New York City, from upstate, from all across. I'm not going to get into the list. I'm sure that's being released by the governor's office. But part of what you do when you present to any group of people, it doesn't absolutely assure the integrity of what's produced, but it is good to know when you see who's producing it that you can look at the cast of people who are working on it and say, those people have earned our trust. So let's closely evaluate and listen to what they have to say. I think the members of the commission, I can just say, speaking for myself, it's an honor to be among that group of people. So I think that's an important step forward. And I think that's part of what the governor has assured. The governor has done something. He's created the commission. He's worked with the Attorney General. Now the governor, and I know that he's decided this because he had to have decided it. Now it's a bird on its own. He's created it, and the commission will do what it's going to do. And I think it has been given the charge to investigate specific cases of public corruption if it comes across their field of vision. But more importantly, I think perhaps look at ways that the system can be improved to reduce the chances of corruption in the future. So I'll say this, that I'm sure we're going to start work soon. I'm going to change my cell phone number so the governor's people can't get a hold of me again in the near future. But Bill Fitzpatrick, who's one of the co-chairs, and Kathleen Rice, who's the DA down in Nassau, are both can reach me anytime, anywhere, and I'm sure we're going to be going to work soon enough. I want to thank the governor for this step. I think that it's something that's needed. It's very rare that you can talk to people. I think the governor put it best at the press conference this morning. Someone asked him whether the legislature could react in this way, that it's a witch hunt. You're after people for political gain. And the part of the governor's response was, look, if you go to any citizen right now and say, do we have a problem with public trust, what percentage of people would say to you, yes? And do you think that we need to do something about it? What percentage of people, your neighbors, your colleagues, would say yes? And I think what the governor has done is no more, no less than let's put a system in place to see if we can fix it. And I'm happy to be a part of it, and I hope we do good work. So thank you again to the governor, and I want to bring President Stenger back up.
Jerry, we're proud of you. We know you're going to do a great job. Governor, you picked a superstar in Jerry. He will get to the bottom of anything that he can find. We want to thank the governor for choosing us as the place that he made this special announcement today. It's great to see you back here. We're going to have to get you an ID card and an office space around here so you don't have to sit in the conference room when you come next time. But it's great to have you here. We look forward to your next visit. Whatever that will be, we'll be here waiting for you, and we'll do what you ask. Thank you very much, Governor.